Good day, everyone. I will be presenting my research study entitled A Proposed Revitalization of Davao City Treatment and Rehabilitation Center for Drug Dependence, a study on integrating therapeutic architecture and environmental design for the enhancement of the built environment. But before I start my presentation, let me first introduce myself. I am Christine Joan A. De Vera, a student from Architecture 5B. In this presentation, I will be discussing the introduction of the study, its goals and objectives, assumption and hypotheses, the significance of study, review and of related literature matrix, methodology, and the projected outcome. The Philippines, under President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, initiated a notable anti-drug campaign, reducing the number of drug users over 5 years. However, there's a shift in focus towards prevention, education, and enhanced rehabilitation facilities under President Ferdinand Bongbong Romualdez Marcos Jr. The study will serve as a vision for redefining the way we perceive healthcare, particularly among patients, by eliminating the stigma in the conventional design of rehabilitation facilities through integrating therapeutic architecture and environmental design into the revitalization of the Davao City Treatment and Rehabilitation Center for Drug Dependence, or DCTRCDD. It aspires to enhance the built environment in order to promote better recovery results for those who have become dependent on narcotics, to develop a setting that fosters emotional well being, treatment engagement, and long term healing by delicately integrating architectural principles with therapeutic concerns. The study intends to enhance the current physical condition of drug rehabilitation centers for the betterment rehabilitation of narcotic dependence in terms of facilities, functionality, and aesthetic value. The design strives to improve the stereotypical image of rehab facilities. It seeks to develop a therapeutic environment by implementing the design strategies developed from these studies. With this being said, the first objective is to determine and develop enhancement strategies for the revitalization of Davao City Treatment and Rehabilitation Center for Drug Dependence, or DCTRCDD. In relation to this, it asks the research question: what is the current condition of DCTRCDD? Second research objective: to identify the relevance of the theory and concept of environmental design and therapeutic architecture in the revitalization of DCTR-CDD. This is followed by the question: how were the concept and therapeutic architecture and theory of environmental design related to the revitalization of the DCTR-CDD? Third research objective: to determine how the theory and concept of environmental design and therapeutic architecture are applied to the architectural design, planning, and revitalization of the DCTR-CDD in order to achieve the enhancement. This is followed by the question: how will the concept and theory of therapeutic architecture and environmental design be integrated into the design, planning, and revitalization of the DCTR-CDD with the objective of improving the built environment to enhance rehabilitation outcomes? The last research objective: to determine the architectural guidelines that can be applied for the revitalization of DCTRCDD. This is followed by the last question as well. What architectural guidelines can be applied to the revitalization of DCTRCDD? Research framework. The framework shows three variables: independent variable, intervening variable, and dependent variable. The Davao City Treatment and Rehabilitation Center for Drug Dependence, or DCTRCCD, their recovery process and the National Building Code, policies, laws, and ordinances of architectural design standards for rehabilitation center serve as the independent variables. Davao City Treatment and Rehabilitation Center for Drug Dependence, or DCTRCDD. This is the existing facility that lacks the essential facilities and design for the effective rehabilitation. The current processes, treatments, and methodologies employed here serve as the baseline against which the impact of the introduced interventions, the environmental design, and therapeutic architecture will be measured. National building code, policies, laws, and ordinances, these standards set the basic design and operational parameters for structures like rehabilitation centers. They might have recommendations or restrictions that could influence how therapeutic architecture and environmental design are applied. Intervening variable. The therapeutic architecture and environmental design are considered intervening variables because they bridge the gap between the existing condition of DCTRCDD and the current design standards and the desired outcome, the enhanced built environment for improved recovery. Therapeutic architecture. This is refers to design principles and techniques that prioritize the mental, emotional, and physical well-being of the occupants. By integrating such principles into the design of the rehabilitation center, the environment becomes more conducive to healing and recovery. Environmental design. This encompasses the broader aspects of how the facility interacts with its surrounding environment, including considerations for natural lighting, ventilation, landscape integration, and more. A well thought out environmental design can have a profound effect on the well being of the center's residents. Dependent variable. The outcome or enhancement of the built environment to promote better recovery outcomes is the dependent variable. This is what the study aims to improve. By effectively integrating therapeutic architecture and environmental design principles into the rehabilitation center's design, the built environment's quality is enhanced. This improved environment is hypothesized to offer better recovery outcomes for narcotics dependents. It provides them with an optimized space that supports their journey to sobriety, considering both their mental and physical needs. In summary, the study posits that by introducing therapeutic architecture and environmental design to the existing rehabilitation center and adhering to national design standards, there will be a tangible enhancement in the built environment, which in return will promote a better recovery. Assumption. The Davao City Treatment and Rehabilitation Center for Drug Dependence, or DCTRCDD, lack the essential facilities and design for effective rehabilitation. This study aims to integrate environmental design and therapeutic architecture to address these needs better. Effective implementation relies on collaboration between medical experts, architects, and designers, emphasizing the importance of merging clinical insight with design innovation for holistic rehabilitation outcomes. Hypothesis. Integrating therapeutic architecture and environmental design into the revitalization of Davao City Treatment and Rehabilitation Center can improve the facility's atmosphere and rehabilitation results for narcotics dependence. This holistic design approach aims to boost the mental, emotional, and physical well being of residents, leading to improved treatment, adherence, and reduced relapse rates. Significance of study. The following may benefit from the study. Narcotics dependence. The primary beneficiary of this study is the persons with narcotics dependence, as it focuses on enhancing the Davao City Treatment and Rehabilitation Center's environment. The study aims to develop a more supportive and therapeutic space, potentially enhancing the effectiveness of rehabilitation programs and contributing to the well being and recovery of individuals seeking treatment for addiction. Next, drug rehabilitation centers. The standards and designs that this study proposes can be utilized by their facilities to aid the built environment and patient treatments. They can assist patients more effectively if they have a thorough awareness of how important it is to come up with it from the perspective of those who have become dependent on narcotics. Third, society. Society can benefit from this study by potentially reducing the impact of drug addiction. The study's revitalization proposals for the Davao City Treatment and Rehabilitation Center aim to develop a more effective and supportive environment for individuals seeking help, which can lead to better recovery outcomes. This, in may return, may contribute to a decrease in drug-related issues within the broader community. Fourth, the local government. The local government can gain valuable insights from this research on revitalizing the Davao City Treatment and Rehabilitation Center for Drug Dependence, as it provides guidance on how therapeutic architecture and environmental design can improve the facility. This can lead to better rehabilitation outcomes and overall well being for residents, aligning with the government's efforts to address drug addiction issues effectively. Fifth, architects and designers. Architects and designers can find valuable insights in this research on revitalizing the Davao City Treatment and Rehabilitation Center for Drug Dependence. It offers guidance on integrating therapeutic architecture and environmental design to enhance the built environment, providing a practical example of how their expertise can contribute to creating rehabilitative spaces that prioritize well being and recovery. Lastly, for the future researchers, the outcomes of this study can be utilized as reference information for future research projects or as confirmation of previously published findings. This study could be used as a guide in developing rehabilitation centers. Review of related literature matrix. The RRL will be divided into two sections, the independent variable and the intervening variable. For the independent variable, the drug addiction. The focus of this study is to better understand drug addiction through analyzing the needs, experiences, actions, and problems those with this illness undergo. It seeks to delve into the complexities of addiction, exploring the psychological, physiological, and social effects of the condition. Through an in depth analysis of the user's perspective, this study aims to provide essential insights that might guide successful preventive and treatment approaches. Finally, providing a holistic response to a multifaceted problem of drug addiction. Davao City Treatment and Rehabilitation Center for Drug Dependence, or DCTRCDD, in response to the dire needs of Davaoenos who become victims of drug addiction and seek to be rehabilitated and integrated into the society. The DCTR-CDD is the subject of this study because it currently lacks the necessary facilities and design elements for conducting effective drug rehabilitation programs. The existing infrastructure and layout may not adequately support the needs of individuals seeking treatment for drug addiction. Therefore, the research aims to address these shortcomings. For the intervening variable, therapeutic architecture involves thoughtful planning that considers elements such as natural light, serene landscapes, privacy, and comfort. By incorporating these principles, the design aims to develop a supportive and therapeutic setting that not only facilitates rehabilitation but also enhances the overall quality of care provided to residents. Lastly, the environmental design. Discuss the determining environmental factors like air quality, noise levels, and access to natural elements, such as green spaces, and its design principles, which involve considerations such as landscaping, layout, accessibility, and the use of the calming and aesthetically pleasing elements. Methodology. Research design. The study will employ a descriptive design wherein it can provide answers based on real life conditions and experiences that can aid in the enhancement of the built environments for the better rehabilitation of the narcotics dependents. Research subject. The research subjects for this study will be non narcotics dependents and employees in the rehabilitation center. Research instruments. The primary source are ocular inspection, interviews, and focus group discussion. And for the secondary source, publications from the internet. Projected outcome. The proposed revitalization of the Davao City Treatment and Rehabilitation Center for Drug Dependence, or DCTRCDD, is a comprehensive effort aimed at improving various aspects of the facility. This include enhancing its physical infrastructure, functionality, and visual appeal. The design strives to improve the stereotypical image of rehab facilities. To achieve this, the design incorporates architectural strategies and guidelines that prioritize developing a therapeutic and supportive environment. Importantly, it also integrates medical treatments delivered by healthcare professionals to ensure a more effective rehabilitation. By combining architectural enhancements with medical expertise, the project aspires to establish a more conducive and uplifting built environment. Ultimately, the goal is to facilitate better recovery outcomes for individuals struggling with narcotics dependence, offering them a space that promotes healing and wellness. Thank you.